Good morning, everyone. Today is 17th of May. Let's do a quick market review of crypto. The price of Bitcoin has dropped overnight. So just to take a step back, we're looking at Bitcoin on the daily on Bitfinex. Following the bear market, we made a massive parabolic move, which has been broken. So as we discussed yesterday, 8,400 was our kind of top level. Fortunately, this has been broken in a pretty sharp move. We've made a 10% drop overnight. It's been pretty well bought. Price rallied already by about 5%. So at this stage, market will probably, in my opinion, consolidate a bit before doing this next move. What I would expect will potentially have a retest of this supply zone here. This area should be retested, I think, before potentially testing back, the lower levels. There is also a chance that this is actually a dip, and if we consolidate for a while, we might continue the uptrend, but it's unlikely at this stage, I would think. What we will need to be looking for is what happens on this retest. So if actually we come back up and retest, which is not certain at all, but if we were to come back up and retest, we could have a scenario like that, make a lower high, and so this will be the higher high, make a lower high here, and then you can expect a downtrend to start. That will be a lower high on that will appear on higher time frame. So for the first time, we will have make a high that will be lower than the top at 8,400 that we made last week, this week actually. What is interesting to note is that so on the CME gap has been filled. Okay, so this is the CME on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. There was a gap here between 6,400 to 6,900. This has been filled, so actually, it's kind of we can move on. It has been an extremely quick fill. It took basically, if you look at it on the 1 minute, it actually just took 1 minute to fill it. So unless you had your orders already set by at this point, there's no chance you could have got it in. The move happened at 5 a.m. Europe time, but people in Asia might have a chance to get that in. We could look now at Bitcoin at the Cardano fractal we discussed yesterday. We can see that the price as starting to follow, and the pattern is manifesting. As in, we had the bear market on Cardano in March, early April. We actually broke this trend line and went to clear the stop above that zone. Bitcoin has done that in May, so a bit later, but it's following what Cardano has been doing, and now we cleared as well the stop. So this is ETH, but I have this basically Bitcoin is doing the same. So ETH or Bitcoin are very correlated at this point versus USD. They clear the stop above this level, and now you can expect, if the price of ETH or BTC were to follow the fractal that Cardano has been drawing, you can expect the price of ETH to follow this trend line, retest again the low before another move. We can see here that the other move is actually being pushed back as well. So that can give a hint of what happened. The other fractal that I would be looking at is gold, where the price of Bitcoin just basically make a little. So let's look at it right there. Just 1 second. Gold, COMEX. Okay, so this is the price of gold. In the 1990s, we made a very similar pattern to what Bitcoin has drawn in 2018. Then 2019 we broke down. We broke up, had a big move up, and then sharp move down, but then quickly reboot, and the uptrend continued for an extended period of time. So there is a chance that this happens as well. The other thing that I will be very focusing on is simply that we broke a parabola. Parabola broken usually means move down up, 60 to 80% down. That was in 2018, the top of the bull market in end of 2017. Parabola broke down in December and January, and then we had a slow move down all the way towards basically a year later, to a day actually. Here, if we were to continue that, what happened? Actually, let's look at it here. If we were to draw that parabola similar to the parabola we just had, we can see something like this to manifest on Bitcoin, which will mean that we're in for a month or two of downtrend, retesting the low, and then potentially continuing, which will make sense and be following the same Cardano parabola that we've been looking at as well. So yeah, actually this could be interesting. So I'll be following these two patterns for the next two months, right? So yeah, so that's for Bitcoin. Other things I wanted to touch on briefly is altcoins. So let's see what the alts have been doing while Bitcoin was going down. Just quickly. So the index of alt versus BTC has been so yeah, most alts, this top 125 alts went down, cleared the lows on this support, but was really well bought. So this, and now we went all the way back right away within 1 day to the resistance zone. We are currently consolidating in that zone, so let's zoom a bit to see what's going on. This indices takes a bit of time to calculate, but yeah, so we're exactly at the resistance. So if we can consolidate here for a bit, there is a chance that alts continue the uptrend. On that particular move overnight, we've seen a lot of alts going back up. So versus BTC, if we look at it on a very short time frame, so when BTC went down at 5 a.m. Europe time, Ripple BTC went up. Let's look at Litecoin. Litecoin went up as well at 5 a.m. and like ETH, and similar for ETH. So they all made a pullback versus BTC, which shows a bit of strength in alts, especially they've taken so much hit over the last few weeks that finally they're kind of bouncing. ETH is one of the strongest at this point. We can see that we cleared this low, nice bounce, and now we are completely destroyed this one, and now we are also clear this trend line. Hopefully ETH will be able to continue its uptrend, provided that Bitcoin gives it that doesn't dump too hard. But if Bitcoin were to actually go slowly down, like we are showing here, there is a chance that actually alt do well within these few weeks. Do well versus BTC, not versus USD. I think versus USD you can still expect some downtrend. So if we look at ETH versus USD, we went down. Yeah, we went down. Everything went down really versus USD 7%. Let's look at BNB as well. So BNB BTC as well rallied over the move, so we can expect that to potentially continue and went to at least to that next resistance line. Let's look at another alt that's been doing well recently. It's called Matic. It's a new project being launched on Binance Launchpad. And that project is pretty solid. So as you can see on let's look at the 2-hour chart. So this was the IEO price, okay, on Binance versus USD. Okay, that's the price versus USDT. price went down all the way, 50%. But then here we had an announcement that Coinbase was actually investing in Matic, and the price rallied, massively, 3x. And yesterday we had the news that Decentraland was actually partnering with Matic. The interesting thing is that CEO and CTO of Decentraland are actually advisors to Matic, so that could have been something expected. But the price overall since the bottom has already made 4x. So this is very impressive. It's probably a project you will want to hold for quite a bit. So this is today's market update. Thanks for watching. Don't forget that this is not financial advice. Do your own research, and good luck in training.